Wagwan.
Welcome back to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. No idea what episode it is.
I'm checking right now.
I think it's episode 16. Pretty sure 15 was just before Crimbo.
17.
17, really?
Yeah. Do you want to know some really bad news?
What did the last video?
Two bad newses. So since Prague, which was the last weekend of November,
Yeah,
we've done 2 podcasts.
yeah, that is not good. We're on such a stint as well, man. We've really gone downhill.
One of them got 500 views.
Really? Wait, was it a reel or was it?
Oh no, it's a short. Yeah.
It'll come. Yeah, I know. I think we've been busy.
God.
Yeah, I know.
Some of these are not good.
Brothers. I mean, we can't tell people to watch it because we're already watching
They're watching it.
Thanks
Just
for everyone
share
watching.
it. Why can't people just share it? And you know,
Maybe we're just washed.
this podcast setup. We've just been setting it up for what?
Bit too long, to be honest.
About 35 minutes procrastinating on this.
Just trying to get all the angles right, really.
The last pod was 2 weeks ago and it got 9 views.
Brothers. It's doing all right on Spotify, though. I actually think
That's
it's doing...
the main. I think probably Spotify is probably better.
It actually does a little bit better on Spotify, I think, because...
I think people will listen to it when they're like driving or they're out walking.
That's
or
what my brother
whatever.
was saying. Little...
Yeah, maybe we need to focus on Spotify.
Maybe we just don't need the cameras.
Yeah,
Sack
all this set up for no reason.
Yeah.
For 9 people.
Oh, well. So, yeah, 2 episodes in the last couple of, month or 2, really.
Yeah, but...
Because we've been very busy.
Well, you have. I haven't.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a very busy person, really.
Prague, but we discussed that in the previous pod.
Since then, what?
Well, we had Christmas.
Why didn't we do one that week, though? Did something... Oh, Tuesday was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So we just didn't have time, did we?
It's a bit difficult. We were going to do a Christmas special. We did promise it.
Oh, nah.
Sorry. Just too busy with, client work, you know.
Yeah,
Super
busy being coaches.
But
But to be fair, we actually have been busy.
Yeah. So Christmas went round. I had a good one. Turned out my grandma, as much as I was saying that it was going to be in a tiny house, I forgot she'd moved house, so it's all right.
So all this rambling on, and you're going, this is going to be shy, this. It's going to be shy.
No, it ended up being quite good. So Christmas went round, scrounged a lot of chocolate.
Oh,
Still did. Still am doing.
Yeah, unholy amount of chocky wocky.
You get a decent batch in.
Oh, yeah. Mate, I've probably, the tubs of chocolate, whether it's celebrations or whatever.
Yeah.
I reckon in total over Christmas, I've probably had maybe 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of.
I got a Lindt. Was it a chocolate Santa, something like that, on Boxing Day, and I finished it in about half an hour.
You know what I found? So the reason I actually stopped eating it wasn't because I was really worried about my weight. My skin.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah, on probably in between Boxing Day and New Year, my skin was dreadful.
Really?
Yeah, as soon as my nutrition just goes to shit.
Yeah.
My skin's just horrible. It's still pretty bad now.
So I was good not had any sun either.
Yeah.
Mine got better over the time I was skiing.
Yeah,
just
because
I
you've
was
still got some sun.
Yeah. But yeah, deleted that chocky. All my family were going, "What are you doing?"
What the hell is bro doing?
I'm going to eat it at some point, so
might as well get it gone
might as
now.
well.
The quicker you get it gone, the quicker you can get back on plan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my rationale.
That's a really good mindset to have, I think. And so yeah, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, pretty bosh, plenty of food. And then I went to France the day after. I don't know what you've been doing.
Just training.
Really?
I ain't been slacking, mate. No.
I did get 2 sessions in when I was there.
Yeah, that's respectable, especially when you're skiing as well.
I didn't train legs, to be honest, but that would have seriously written me off.
And I swear the gym now just isn't great for
Yeah, I mean, the leg extension, hamstring curl are whack. It's one of the classic.
Is it the same?
Things. Yeah.
One of them. It's like a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
You're not going to get much. Well, you are, but
yeah, it's just annoying. Good excuse.
Don't really want to be doing that.
They have just got a decent leg press, so.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, I could have done it, but honestly, when you ski every day, your legs are just
will be
knackered.
battered. Yeah.
So yeah, basically skied every day until came back, steaming it down a few slopes, eating some good scran. And then here we are today, so that's why we've not done
You've had a fun week.
Yeah.
Mine's been so like just meh.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been out a few times. I've got pissed 3 times in a week. That's not good.
Where did you go then?
Well, there was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I got absolutely slaughtered. I was hungover on Christmas Day. I didn't eat anything until my mum got the Christmas dinner out.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, she was literally shouting me, and I was still upstairs.
I saw you on Christmas Eve, didn't I?
Yeah,
that was in Bawtry.
Still upstairs with my head down the bog, like throwing up. I was like, I'm such an idiot.
I didn't think you were that bad when we were actually out. I didn't think
I
you were
was
that drunk.
Because I was like sort of
bit giddy, but
I was composing myself.
Right.
I was pretty smashed. Like, I can't really remember getting back to Hannah's.
Really?
Which, that's not good, is it, on Christmas Eve?
That's not ideal.
You don't need to be taking it that far. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Christmas Eve was fun.
I had a good night. I mean, I only came out for about
you got
an hour and a
you
half.
just spawned in. I was like, hang on.
Yeah, I just saw. I can't remember where I was, but
because you were out somewhere before, weren't you?
I was at Holly's.
That's
actually,
it. Yeah. Yeah, and then you just spawned in.
Spawned in a couple of pints.
Fucking sound.
Bosh. And we were in.
Bro, by a couple he means he drank like 6 in half an hour.
Catch up job. It's got to be good. And then when else did you go out?
When else did I go out? The AFC Booker team do.
Missed
Day
that.
sesh in Lincoln. You missed that.
Spent the kitty.
Spent all the kitty on
Cheers.
shots. Yeah, man. And then New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I wasn't that bad on New Year's Eve, like, because...
Lincoln, wasn't it?
No, not New Year's Eve. I was in Bawtry.
Oh, wait.
Lincoln was the...
the Bookadoo.
The Bookadoo. AFC Bookadoo. Which was actually quite good.
Really? Didn't miss
Yeah,
out.
it was fun, but it was a bit quiet,
Yeah.
like out and about.
I just thought it would have been... What day was it?
It was the 27th, so it's sort of
a bit
like,
of a
you
weird
think,
one.
people will go out because they'll be seeing like their mates over Christmas and whatever. But then it's also, people are like waiting now till New Year.
Yeah, people have probably boxed off on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out the day after, are you? Or
No,
not
it was,
many.
it was the 28th. It was the 28th
Even
because it
still.
was a Saturday. Yeah.
Most people are...
Enjoying Christmas, Boxing Day,
Yeah.
getting a bit merry on those days and then chilling out a bit.
Chilling and killing. And then New Year's Eve was Bawtry again.
Bawtry, yeah.
With...
Hannah, my brother, his missus, Chris Waddo,
Really?
and his missus as well.
Is he
Yeah.
still flying planes?
Yeah, he's actually got a job now flying
Really?
planes. Not like, he actually couldn't tell us what he does because it's secret. He works in Ireland. From what I gathered, I was questioning him quite a bit, trying to get some info. I think it's something to do with like counter-terrorism, like IRA.
Really?
Shit. Yeah.
I thought he was going into like doing commercial
Yeah,
stuff.
I think he might do eventually, but I think he gets some decent whack from
Yeah,
this. So I think
that's pretty cool.
No. But yeah, that was all right. Chris obviously is a former client.
Yeah.
And when he was drunk, he was trying to make out that whenever I used to check in, his feedback would just be, "You're a fucking wanker, Chris. Sort your life out," and all this. I was like, yeah, definitely happened.
Definitely said that on the
But then he was like, he pulled up his progress photos. He was like, "Yeah, but look at all the progress that we made." I was like, "Well, there you go then. Why
Don't
are
hear
you
it from us.
complaining?" Yeah.
Yeah, should have got a
It actually is. It was a good transformation as well.
should have got a boozy testimonial from him. Leo's the
a
best.
video one.
I love
him so much.
Get that on the gram. That'll work.
But yeah, and that leads us to today.
Yeah, I went out New Year's Eve.
Yeah. In La France.
Yeah,
Oh,
in the
oui, oui.
mountains. You know, the altitude.
Yeah, you just get a bit more pissed.
Yeah, that was not ideal. I was telling you in the gym, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was with these some Irish lads that I know. I think they're like my dad's mates' kids or whatever.
Bro doesn't even know.
Yeah, I've skied with them like
Oh,
most
so you
years
did
for
know
a while.
them? Yeah, you do know him.
And Ushin, if you're watching this, mate, this is all your fault.
Ushin?
Yeah, his name's spelled like O-I.
Or
It's
like
like
Oisin.
Oisin,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen that. It's an Irish name, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It was him and his brother started like getting these beers that I didn't really realise what they were at first.
Heavy.
So
Heavy
obviously just
dark
drink
laugh.
them quite normally, and it turned out they were like 8.5%.
So you're getting
So
steezed.
like you have a normal amount of beer,
But
and
it's
then
like
it just
double.
Yeah, it just hit me. So it was like
What? So is a beer normally like 4.5%, 5%?
Yeah, 4 to
4 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
roughly. So it's like you double.
Was it like some French beer?
It was called like triple or something. Triple,
God knows.
something like that. But
Was it nice, or was it one of them where it's
it was actually not like bad.
my thoughts of that would just be it's like going to be like really heavy and
Not really. It was. I wouldn't say it was any worse than a normal beer.
yeah. But was it unfiltered, mate?
Yeah.
Was it unfiltered?
That's such an inside joke.
If crows listen to this, it'll be like fucking not. Stop taking the piss out of unfiltered. It's great.
Yeah, but yeah, it actually wasn't bad. And like normally, the same with you, aren't there? Like after you've had a couple of pints, you're ready to transition, and usually that's a good move. But like the transitionary period was too late.
Yeah, you were too long gone.
And then I was over and out by 12, really.
Yeah. What time did you actually go home?
About 12:30.
Yeah.
Because I was asleep
good.
before the UK New Year. So before 1
about
o'clock.
12 then, yeah.
So yeah, that was certainly interesting.
Yeah.
And that leads us to today, where
We're just back on plan, aren't we now?
Yeah, back to grooving it. I mean, we're both a couple of key up over Christmas, but nothing too major.
No, I'm not really that fussed.
Where are you at?
What, body weight?
Yeah.
So pre-Christmas I was like 66.
Yeah.
This morning I was 68. But my heaviest was 69. I did weigh in at 69 last week.
Coming on the way down a bit.
It's just coming down now.
Yeah, I mean, from my lowest, I'm about 5 kilos up.
Yeah, which I think's pretty good.
Yeah, considering Christmas.
And you probably want that initial bump anyway.
Yeah, it is nice for like pressing. Like,
yeah,
both of our like bench presses have gone up loads just from getting a bit fatter.
A little bit of body weight.
Yeah, but I'll calm it down now. I think back to the steady old game.
I was stressed a bit when I woke up at 69. I was like, "Fuck, I want it to be 70." It's summer. So
I've ruined
it.
Shit. Yeah,
well, it's fine. I probably will still be between like 70, 72
yeah.
for the summer. I don't want to be
still
any
look
heavier.
quite like reasonably lean.
It's just weird, like where I store my body fat.
Yeah,
doesn't help me.
Where is it? Like midsection of the back?
So I still think like my arms and my delts and that are still like lean.
Yeah.
But then like my midsection, especially like lower, and like my lower back as well, just a bit. And then all that sort of throws off.
Makes your waist look way bigger.
Yeah. And that's sort of like what makes me look bigger than what I am.
Yeah.
If that makes it. 'Cause I haven't got that much muscle really. Like I have compared to the average person.
Yeah.
But I don't look like it now because of my waist is so much wider.
Yeah.
Which is a bit peak, but
I get the same like around here.
Yeah.
But the issue is when you take quite a big increase in body weight, that you just like look at your
that's all I look at. Yeah.
Where's that come from?
Yeah. You just look at all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
It is what it is, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Not too bad.
No dieting now for summer. No dieting.
We've said it on the pod multiple times.
Yeah.
Through summer, maybe come winter of 2025. But it's weird because you don't want to throw off the. We've already kind of done it. You don't want to throw off the summer winter timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Too much, do you?
That's the issue is. For me, because obviously I was prepping through summer.
Yeah.
It then makes it hard to get back into a cycle where your diets just naturally fall anyway.
Yeah,
it's summer.
It's always nice to do like I mean, we've only done it a few times, but like the 9-3.
Yeah, I think that's the best
split. Like
you don't even need 3 months, really, do you?
No, probably 2. But that third month gives you a bit of time to just like hold through the back end of July.
Yeah.
Then you're like August through to April-ish.
That's why for me now, I want to get back into that cycle.
Yeah.
So for me, I honestly want to be not dieting until like probably February.
Yeah. I think
so like another 12 months.
That would be the most ideal, I think, wouldn't it?
Yeah, then I've been gaining for like 16 months.
Bros will be so fat.
Yeah, I'll be huge.
I'll be taking up this whole sofa. Welcome back to Live the Lifestyle Podcast, episode 60.
The sofa just crumbles to the floor.
I've got high blood pressure.
I may have a heart attack on the pod.
Can't sleep for some reason. Can't really breathe either. Don't know what's going on.
So I'll have like 4 nose strips on. You'll have your CPAP, whatever it's called.
Yeah, these are really helping me. I've just got bad sinuses. Nothing to do with me being clinically obese.
No, but we do need to be regimented with it.
Yeah. I think we will be. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 12 months. There might be a little pullback in there somewhere for like a month.
Yeah. I don't think
Sharpish.
there'll need to be.
But
For me personally,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that.
12 months, 105, 110 kilos. I'll be sound with that.
Yeah.
Get a little bit chunky.
That'd be what? You'd be then like 13 kilos up.
If I get to 110, that would be like 16, 17 kilos.
But that over a 13-month period,
Yeah.
it's fine.
And I know, because I've done it 3 times now, I know it's so easy now for me to lose like 10 kilos.
Yeah,
It's
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I've done it so many times, it's really, really easy.
Yeah. As long as you just lock in with it,
Yeah.
it's fine. I think your main issue in the past is probably not that you're not locked in, just you end up, because obviously you've got the house in France.
Yeah.
That always seems to come up when you've dieted for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you're
Then
in
it
France for like
drags it
3
out,
weeks,
doesn't
and
it?
it's like, okay, you're like
Yeah.
struggling to make progress then.
Yeah, I need to time it well, so it's just like straight 2 months of just bosh.
And it's done. You don't have to worry about it then.
Yeah, that'll be the plan. We'll see how it plays out. fingers crossed.
Right.
But yeah, no, that kind of leads on quite nicely. We've sort of set out our timeline and goals there to give you watchers a bit of value. Thought we could kind of talk about how to set up some goals for 2025 and not just end up being in February thinking, well, that didn't go very well.
Yeah.
2026 is my year.
This is, yeah, I think we spoke about it a bit on the other pod, but goal setting actually is so important
Yeah.
in terms of physique development. If I didn't have goals, I'd just be like, well, what am I doing this for?
The only difficult thing I find is, if you're playing a sport, it's quite easy to attach yourself to a goal
Oh yeah,
because you're like, well, I want to win this, or I want to
yeah,
do a marathon. Okay, you're pretty attached to that. You've booked it in. Like there's a thing coming
yeah.
up.
It's
You can't
coming.
avoid
It's there. Yeah.
it. I think with physique development, because it's so open and because it can
There's no
last
actual
forever,
set. There's no set time where
Yeah.
you need to be.
it's quite easy to do goal setting, go through the motions, and then set out some goals that you actually don't really care that
Yeah, you're not
much
that,
about.
but you're just saying it because
Yeah,
it's
it's
there.
so arbitrary.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite hard to actually set specific goals without really being attached to something that you want.
Yeah. I think that's why it's important as well to maybe have that kind of a goal, but then
Yeah.
also have smaller things
Yeah,
that are things that could be in like the near future,
yeah,
even if it's like performance based in the gym. Just something to keep your head on, because otherwise it can get a bit like monotonous,
yeah,
and you just like turning up to the gym. And I think when you're in like, especially in a gaining phase, you can just get into a point where you might have been gaining for like 4 or 5 months,
yeah,
and you sort of just like forgot what you're actually trying to do. That's happened to
Yeah.
me so many times. I just end up going to the gym,
lifting a bit of tin.
and going home, and it's
Yeah.
like you can make it a bit more enjoyable.
I
Than
was speaking
that.
to Kizzer about this. 'Cause he was saying he's a bit like he doesn't have like a direct trajectory. He doesn't
Yeah.
really know what he's trying to do,
what he
or-
wants to do.
and then that leads to not really having a plan, and then not really doing anything
Yeah.
about it. So then he goes into the gym and doesn't enjoy it because he's like, well, kind of just like, what am I actually doing here?
Yeah,
So it can be quite hard, I think, if you slip into that.
that slope
Yeah.
of just shite.
Yeah. So maybe that initial step is trying to find something that you actually are interested in, and don't just think, oh, I want to be this weight by this month.
Yeah.
If that's like completely random, then it's not going to do much for you, is it?
Yeah, there needs to be some actual thought process
Yeah.
behind it.
So try and find your reasoning, and realistically, you should probably have your reasoning without having to think about it too much.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're actually probably not that arsed, and then that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bringing it like in terms of myself. Obviously, when I competed, and those first like sort of 2 months after competing, I had like that actual like burning desire that I can't wait
Yeah.
to be better next time. But now, if I'm complete, I don't really have that,
Yeah.
because you sort of just forget.
Yeah, it
like
slips
it's
off.
been and gone. Now it's honestly like it sounds so like stupid and like vain, but it's just like the thought of going away in 2026 on holiday.
Yeah.
Like I want to.
I do think about that
look decent
sometimes,
for
like
that.
when I'm training. Preset, I'm like,
yeah,
right.
I'm like, yeah, like imagine what you're gonna look like this time next year, or something like that. But again, it's a little bit wishy-washy. But
Yeah.
for me, it does work.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one, because I think probably a lot of people will sway away from that because it is vain, really.
Yeah, it is vain, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to have like pride in how you look.
Yeah, I think that's something that maybe some people would have to get over themselves.
Yeah, just actually be honest with themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but for the most people, if you're not a bodybuilder and competing, your main goal realistically is probably you just want to look better to impress people.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That's why we started.
Yeah, it's either to I'd say that's one side of it, and then the other side is to like just not feel a bit whack about yourself.
Yeah.
There's like it's the carrot and the stick, isn't it?
Yeah, but like for me, I think you're the same as me. It's like you just want to be the best.
Yeah, yeah. But also we're probably past. Like I'd say, a couple of years ago, it probably was more the like, I feel a bit skinny. Like
Yeah,
I didn't really like feeling like that.
Yeah.
But once you train for a decent amount of time, and we have gained.
Yeah, like
quite a lot of
realistically, you
muscle.
know now you're better than the average.
So you're kind of past that, like, oh, I feel a bit like self-conscious
Kind of feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
I don't feel like that now.
No,
No.
it's been a long time since I've thought, oh,
Yeah.
this t-shirt's like fitting a bit baggy, or like, why aren't my sleeves like
Yeah.
filling out? It's
Yeah,
been
that's
quite
when
a
we
wait.
first started. That was like what you wanted.
Yeah,
So now I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really care about that.
yeah. Like the measure of your pump was how well it filled out your t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like I'm actively buying t-shirts that are
That
too big,
Too big. Yeah.
or else you just look like a muppet.
Like me and my night
Wearing
milers.
extra mediums. At least yours are long enough though.
Yeah.
If I buy a t-shirt now that used to fit me, I guess it's like because my shoulders and my back and chest is wider.
Yeah.
It like just makes it really,
short.
So
Yeah.
I have to buy really big.
And
to
the thing
get it
is,
long
with
enough.
with your size of clothing as well, is to actually get it to fit you in length anyway. Even if you weren't like as big as you are,
Yeah,
you'd still have to buy.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're still going to be made long.
It's funny. Ushin, he gave me this like. I went to his after we trained because we were going out to eat. So I asked him to like borrow a t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got this perfect t-shirt for you. It's like 4XL."
Put it on. It was
And
like cropped.
yeah, it was like tiny. It was long enough, but it was like really tight.
Tight,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, gonna have to wear a jacket over this, or look a bit weird.
But even talking about that though, like what we were just on about, even not this year, last year when we went to Havar, I started the diet with the motivation of competing again.
Yeah,
After a few weeks in, and we got the holiday booked,
yeah,
that was my motivation over the.
yeah,
Because I remember being like, okay, I want to push harder, I want to get leaner.
yeah,
And then I was like, okay, but when I go on holiday, I'm still going to be like 15 weeks out.
yeah,
So it's like I ended up wanting to push harder just to look better on holiday.
yeah, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I thought when I went away that I was the fucking bollocks. I was like,
Especially when you're a
I
few
am
pints
so
down, yeah.
peeled. I was like, I look fucking sick. But to be fair, like that was probably the best shape I'd ever been in terms of like a good amount of condition, but not looking like a swimmer.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think those like really, I guess you could say outcome or like, date specific things that you have in your calendar are definitely
Yeah.
a big driver.
Yeah.
And it definitely helped like our clients. Like
Oh,
people are
100%.
starting to talk now like, oh, I've got a holiday in April, or I've got a holiday in June or whatever, and it's like that is massive.
But that's why it's important then that they say that now and
Yeah.
you can put the plan in place.
So I'd actually say the hardest phase is probably past now.
Yeah.
That end of the year type thing. It's hard to attach
sort of
yourself
stuck
to
in the
those
middle,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I guess if you've got a holiday, like write it down in your timeline and like
Get it in.
that can be your point that you work back from
Yeah.
to set out the plan
Yeah.
of what you're going to do. And I think that builds, that's like the foundation section of the goal setting.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the rest of goal setting is kind of, it's very individual, so it's hard to advise. Like, you can obviously do the whole, you can use the SMART target structure and all that sort of stuff. And sure, it might help you understand your goal better. But at the end of the day, it is a made up thing.
Yeah. It's not an actual...
Yeah. So for me, writing down, okay, what's the goal I want specific? How can I measure it? How can I... Is it achievable? Like, how long do I have? You kind of... Okay, you could follow that structure, but it's also quite basic. Like, what do you want to achieve? How long have you got to do it? And then can you actually do it?
Yeah.
Can you do what you're saying you're going to do? If you tick off those three, you don't need to be all...
I just think the main thing is, like, obviously, your goal should scare you.
Yeah.
But it does need to be realistic. You see a lot of people with the goals, and it's like, come on, like...
Even like the process-oriented goals, like, New Year, I'm going to train 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you're working 9 or probably 8 till 6, including travel, and you've got a girlfriend and
you've got family.
It's like, okay, you're not going to train 6 days.
You're not going to be able to do it,
or even 5.
Like we train at the minute 5. Well, obviously you're sometimes 4, depending on what you've got on, and even that, there's people who don't actually have to go anywhere at any certain time. Even that is hard to fit in 5 days a week.
Yeah. So definitely don't make it that you're right, that realistic bit.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because again, people always say, the old we always take the piss out of it. The what is it? Aim for the moon.
Yeah.
Land on the stars.
No, other way.
Aim for the stars, you land on the moon. Well, whatever. You know what I mean.
Aim for the moon. You'll get to the stars, right?
Well, the other way round. Like I get it, but if I was to set myself a goal and not get there, I think my reaction to that would just be worse than the benefit of trying to push myself all the way there.
I think as well the problem with that is, if you're setting massive goals, you also have to have the realism of how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
So if you are like setting this huge thing, it's got to be, okay, that's actually, X amount of years down the line. Yeah. What's that saying? I always hear it's like people overestimate what they can do in the short term, but underestimate what they can do in the long term.
Yeah.
So that's probably quite key for setting out what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's quite relatable. So Josh, that new client I've got. So obviously I had the call with him yesterday, and in his application form, he basically said he wanted to get like inside out. Like he's like, I want to get
really
lean, like stupidly lean. Obviously not like competition lean, but like probably to the point where he could do like a photo shoot or something.
Yeah.
And obviously he applied for the 8 week. So as soon as I got on the call, I was like, obviously I've had a look through your goals, and with that goal, I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to do that in 8 weeks, because you're not. So I think again, it's important that, like you said, you've got to understand that.
Yeah.
You've got to have like an actual achievable goal within a certain time frame.
Yeah. Which obviously comes with a bit of understanding as well, but it's probably not too hard to work out.
Yeah, like if you've got a bit of a brain, you should be alright.
Yeah. So once you've got that, once you've got your key milestones within that timeline, even if you do have a massive long-term goal, you've got certain holidays, whatever it might be. Yeah. I think what probably a lot of people miss out on, I'm not going to say I've read this book because I've not, but I think I asked like ChatGPT to give me a big old summary. Loads of people have read it. That Atomic Habits book?
I've got it.
Have you?
I've not read a single page.
Really?
Yeah, just can't find time to do it.
It's too busy.
Too busy, man. Too busy being a coach.
No, essentially, what a lot of it talks about is being, rather than being very outcome orientated, distilling that outcome down, kind of like that reversing out of the end goal into the specific habits that you need to get
there.
Yeah. So what's the day-to-days? And also it talks about like getting into the real minutiae of it.
Yeah.
So like even down to, you could go down to the day and say, right, I'm going to do on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays or whatever, I need to do 20 minutes of cardio. But people will get to that and then leave it there. And this book talks about how you then want to go even further and say, right, so how can I make that really easy to make it into a habit by like, okay, if I need to go on a run on Monday, on Sunday, I'm going to get all my clothes out. I'm going to make my drink that I'm going to have before.
So it's ready.
I'm going to have my electrolyte tablet out.
Yeah.
And it's like all of these things, you like really go as far as you can
to make it as easy as possible to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's, if your goals are in a good spot and you've set out the right habits, then it will happen.
Yeah, and the process will be as easy as it can be.
So then you'll start enjoying it and all things fall into place.
I think that's important as well, especially in now obviously we're in like the start of the new year, is there is going to be a lot of people who don't have any training experience, no like nutrition experience, or anything like that in terms of like improving their physique. And they'll be going into the new year thinking, oh, this is what I want to achieve. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
But you've got to understand, you're not just going to go from being someone with no knowledge and understanding to then within a day being able to nail absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sounds cringy, but like even just being 1% more optimal every single day.
Yeah.
If you do that over a month, 2 months.
I talked about it in a reel, didn't I?
I can't remember.
Yeah, we filmed about 3 million.
Yeah.
I talked about how I think it's quite easy in like the climate of social media at the minute to be, this, workout beast.
Yeah.
And you like doing everything under the sun to be hyper optimal. And it like makes the bar of entry so ridiculously high that to start it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, it feels like you've got so much to do just to do it.
Exactly.
When you don't.
Yeah. So I talked about how a lot of people actually need to lower the initial bar, initial standards, to then be able to increase it when they get used to those new things, rather than just trying to go like, I know it's such a classic, like, oh, don't go all in at the start, but you actually don't. True. Like, just start with the foundations, start with being consistent with stuff, and
if you do go in and try to do all these things, you are just going to burn out.
Yeah.
Like, like I think we spoke about on a pod, all things like ice baths and like that red light therapy in the morning and stuff like that. It's like, you don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
But people, because it's all you see on social media now, people think you've got to do that to make any progress.
Yeah, you should. I know I used to listen to stuff like this and I'd be trying to find out like the real minutiae in training and all of that. Even in training, like, okay, people will be racking their brains over which lateral raise to do.
Yeah, it's like, fucking hell.
Generally, just do one.
Just choose one you like. There you go.
Get strong at it. And that same principle, I think, applies to pretty much everything. Like train, eat, consistent.
Yeah.
And eventually you can add in these little things.
Yeah, it's crazy how much power social media has over people.
Yeah.
Like, but like obviously, while you were talking then about the whole training side of things, like people trying to decide what lateral raise to do. It's because they see people talking about it on social media all the time. And you're like, oh, you've got to be doing this, you've got to be doing that. People post like their full days of eating and it's like some fancy wancy chopping board stuff. It's like, you don't need to be doing that. Yeah,
I think if you actually look at the differences, like take the lateral for example, whenever you look at these things that are comparing what exercise is going to be best to the other, and this applies to all of the topics as well, whenever there's a comparison thing, most of the time it's so small that like not doing it for ages because you're trying to find out which one's the best, or you're chopping and changing between the two.
It's going to have more of a negative effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you've got someone telling you what to do, there's no difference between them programming the best and programming not the best.
Yeah.
So then it's quite easy. But if you're sat there like trying to make yourself a program, going, "Oh no, what?
Oh, I can't do a dumbbell lateral.
What do I need to do?"
It's too heavy at the top and not enough load at the
It's just
bottom.
going to mess you up. So yeah, either get someone that knows what they're on about to make you something
Link in bio.
LIB, or just start, and then you can worry about it later down the line, I think.
Yeah. Just take the first leap.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing.
That's quite a good summary to kind of go through it. Set your big goal, chunk it into milestones like a holiday, then go down into setting your daily habits, starting them really simple, build it up over time.
Reverse engineer that.
And you'll get there, man.
Yep. Agreed.
That's a pretty good pod.
Yeah.
35 minutes.
5 minutes, Jesus.
Bloody good. Hopefully you enjoyed. You got anything else to touch on?
I don't think so.
Groovy.
I feel like this was the first pod where we've just started filming and we've not actually had some form of kind of structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was all right.
Good. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you for episode 18.
18
next week.
Yeah, back on the pod grind.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share to the story.
First one to share to the story,
Rate on Spotify.
I'll send you some monies or something.
Yeah. Yeah, share it to your story. You get a present.
Yeah. Free present from me.
Everyone who does it, not just the first person.
All right. Just not too many people.
R.I.P. OC's bank account
See ya.
when no one shares it. Right, yeah.
Right,
ciao.
see you in a bit.